Hello, I'm Anissa Mathenna, and I'm here to speak about recruiting your personal board of directors, what that is, why it's important, and how to get it started. A little about me. I am president, CEO, and co-owner of Pioneer Service in Addison, Illinois. I've been in this role since 1993, and I am proud to have transformed my company from old manufacturing to new high-tech modern machining. We are a contract manufacturer of precision machine parts, serving a wide variety of industries, including electrical vehicles, aerospace, industrial equipment, but more importantly, medical devices and biotech industry during this battle against COVID. Like the rest of the world, we can't wait for it to be behind us. I am also the mother of two grown sons who have blessed me with four amazing grandchildren, Noor, Ibrahim, Saraya, and Yaqub. And let me tell you, it is true when they say grandchildren are God's gift for not killing your kids. And I'll leave it at that and move on. So, what is a personal board of directors? Well, simply put, resources in dealing with our daily madness. It consists of our trusted inner circle, our squad, mentors, family, and friends, those who we trust and admire. Now, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't build a personal board of directors of my own years ago. And I've changed my members throughout the years. And as I continue to change, so will they. So, why do I need a board? Well, as professionals, our minds are always working, thinking about our customers, suppliers, continuous improvement, our employees, our coworkers, and the list goes on. What about work-life balance? That's something I continue to struggle with. Nonetheless, especially nowadays with everything that's going on in the world, heavy on the mind and heavy on the heart. If you're like me, you probably have considered being a superhero. I've wanted to be Wonder Woman for the longest time. Do it all and do it alone. But why should we? As professionals, we are making things happen and our teams are counting on us. When we do it alone, after some time, we will burn out and miss out on opportunities. We become less effective, harming our success, but more importantly, putting the livelihood of our team at risk. Just like an organization should have a board, so should we. Now more than ever, self awareness is critical for success. Your personal board of directors can help you identify both your strengths and your weaknesses. But a step further than that, they can be resources for your weaknesses. Because in the end, it's about growing as a leader and thriving both personally and professionally. While a board of directors for an organization may meet at a formal setting every month or every quarter, your personal board of directors are on an as needed basis and should be flexible, both sides, always. It makes it so much easier building that relationship. And there may be mentors that you see every day at work and others that you may communicate via email or via phone every once in a while. It's about building those relationships and being flexible. Before you begin, first and foremost, for this to work, there must be a whole lot of respect and a whole lot of trust. Throughout my career, I've had mentors who've personally invested in me and have challenged me along the way. I'd encourage every professional young and old, to find someone, that person who does something better than you, and learn from them. By the way, most of my board members, my mentors, don't consider themselves board members or mentors. It's not that formal. We're friends, we're acquaintances, we're colleagues, we're family. It's not that formal. So, who do I need on my board? The expert. This is the common mentor, someone with experience in your field. The truth teller, someone who will tell you the cold, hard truth, whether you want to hear it or not. The innovator, the out of the box thinker who can provide you with fresh ideas and resources. The sponsor, this one's very important. Someone who really has a lot of faith in you, believes in you so much they are willing to put their name and reputation on the line. The safe space, this person has to be trustworthy. This is the person you vent to with your personal and professional challenges. This is the person that I call the vault. These are commonly defined roles, but feel free to take from them what works for you, depending on your goals. Make it your own. Roll with them. They do not have to be defined, and you can have multiple people fill a need. And on the other hand, you may have one person filling multiple roles. Go with what works for you and make it your own. Now, first, before you start, take time to reflect. Be mindful. Have a strategy in place. And start with the list of names by asking yourself, who influences me? Who has my back? Whose perspectives do I value most? Who comes through with resources? Some may already be in place, like family and friends and coworkers, and others you may have not considered. Take your time and reflect. So, how do I choose? I suggest no less than 3 people on a board, but make sure you're building relationships and not just checking off boxes. And that could be people who know you well, advisors in your professional life, those you admire and look up to. And it takes time. Have your goals in mind. Don't just choose anyone. Easy enough, right? Now, where do you find a board? Well, who are your rock stars? Your favorite activists, authors, speakers, even people that you learned from afar. As for my mother, not Oprah, but the woman I'm standing next to, she is my rock, she is my rock star, and she is my safe space. If your mother hasn't been properly trained like mine and is the type that may slip and tell your secrets to your siblings or your in laws, well, I suggest you find someone else. For example, executive coaches. They can provide knowledge and expertise to help you climb your ladder of success. They can be expensive at times, but if you find the right one, your goals become their priorities. And even if you have a few sessions here and there, most coaches welcome the opportunity to work with you. Now, for the ladies, as many of you may probably already know, women groups are a great place to find inspiration and an opportunity to empower one another. At the next event, look around you. It's likely you'll find a great amount of knowledge and experience, even if it's virtual. Use it to your advantage. Many companies, including mine, offer a chaplain service. No matter your faith, they lend an ear to hear your fears and celebrate your joys. Tia is one of my favorite humans and has been there for me through some very difficult times, including when my son came back from the military after serving. I expected the highs, but I did not expect so many lows, as many of you who have family who served probably already know. She was a great sounding board for me when I needed it the most. And for the record, it doesn't matter that her and I don't follow the same religion. Now, how about joining a board? What better way to find your personal board of directors from those who've already been hand selected by a reputable organization? Rubbing shoulders with the best of the best in your community or your industry has its perks. I've learned so much about finance, contracts, and bylaws. These types of forums have been extremely beneficial to me and my company. There is so much violence and so much hate in the world today. Who better to have on your board than a volunteer who is taking the time to nourish minds, communities, and hearts? Next time you're taking the time to volunteer, look around. You may find your next board member. This speaker here, Miles Free, a good friend of mine, nominated me for the 2017 National Association of Manufacturing Excellence Award, and I won. Since then, I've had the honor to work with NAM, several speaking events, and building a strong partnership, even been asked to be on their prestigious board. That would have never happened if I didn't approach Miles. And Miles is on my personal board of directors. He is both my expert and my sponsor. On the right, I think the visual here says it all. Whether you're around friends, coworkers, or networking, have fun with wherever and whoever you end up with. Call it karma or call it fate. You get back what you put into the world. How do I ask? Well, for most of us, our family and friends are already part of our board, and we're likely part of theirs. Easy enough. Now, next time you go to an event, invite a coworker or a colleague who you seem to may be a good fit for your board, but you'd like to get to know them better. When you're at an event and you find inspiration by someone, speaker, host, association, executive director, whoever that is, approach them. Offer them a cup of coffee or lunch to get to know them better. Remember that this is an informal invite to compare notes on topics of mutual interest. You're building bridges with people you admire, not scheduling an appointment to define their role or outline the future. With social media platforms available to us, it's easy to find inspiration from those celebrities who are leading by doing great things for the world today. Simple enough, three methods to ask. So once you know who you want on your board, just decide the best way that fits you to ask. For me personally, for those that I don't know well, I prefer email. This puts the recipient in a position to think about their decision. And for me, it's always easier to read a no than to hear one. Now, how do I get a yes? Well, one, tell them what you admire about them. It could be a presentation they gave, how they behaved and handled themselves in a meeting, but be specific in your praise. Two, don't just hashtag it, be authentic. You will win people over with your sincerity, not your job title. Three, tell them you're on a journey to improve your skills and expertise by learning from successful people you admire. and you'd love to know about their journey on how they got where they are today. Unless they offer more time, I suggest not to ask for more than a half an hour. Be respectful of their time. Now remember, don't let your mind wander by thinking negative thoughts. Our insecurities are our biggest limitations. What's the worst that can happen? They say no or not now. Move on. Most people would be honored to be treated that way and be asked. So, if option one doesn't work for you, move on and find someone else. For me personally, it's always exciting to get a yes. And if you've gotten a yes, congratulations. Now what? Well, one, come with your questions and your goal in place. Don't just show up or make the call, but be prepared. Two, if the person isn't aligned with your core values, be careful you don't lose your principles in the process. No job, no relationship is worth that. Three, remember, if all the people around you look like you and come from the same background as you have just limited your personal development. I'm not just talking about gender. Consider their background, age, ethnicity. There is a wealth of information to be learned from a variety of perspectives. Diversity is key. Four, in my one on ones, whether I'm the mentor or the mentee, no desk, monitor, or phone will distract us from making a connection. Five, you may get to know the person and they may not turn out to be who you thought. Someone you admire today may change throughout the years. We all change, and that's okay. Move on and take it as a lesson. Six, always show gratitude, even if the person turns out not to be what you expected. Never burn bridges. No one owes you anything. Remember, it was their time. They volunteered. I find handwritten thank you cards are still one of the ways to leave a positive, long lasting impression. As tempting as it is to be lone hero, entrusting others continues to bring great value into my life. Giving back is even more rewarding. As a leader in manufacturing and in business, it is my responsibility to give back, to elevate and empower those around me, setting a good example for the emerging leaders and welcoming them into our camaraderie. I'd say that's not bad for the price of a cup of coffee. Thank you for your time. I hope you've gotten a few takeaways from this session, and I'm eager to hear your questions and feedback. Please feel free to email me or connect with me on social media. Thank you again. Stay safe.